Did you know that 50% of home buyers are unsatisfied with the home buying process? With me here today is Alyson Jelincic. She is the owner and she's also a mortgage broker for AlphaLenders. She's also the vice president of BNI STL, which is Business Network International and Squeeze the Lemon. Today's show is sponsored by Heyday Marketing, public relations and a marketing agency based right here in Miami, Florida. I am your host, Anabel, live from the studios of Miami's Community News. So let's get started.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Alyson. Thank you for being here. So share with us a few unique aspects that separate your business from other mortgage brokers' businesses.
Yeah. So I started my career working for big lenders, and I saw that their process was all about quantity over quality. So less focused on how the individual was running through the mortgage process, more focused on how many loans can we close. So I started AlphaLenders with the goal of having a more personalized experience that's kind of tailored specifically to our Miami borrower. As a one-woman shop, when I started, I was able to offer a much better communication process. So instead of not knowing where your loan was at, I'm able to tell you exactly what's happening or give you a really good timeline. And the other thing is just transparency. I think the mortgage process has kind of a veil over it where people don't understand what they're doing for a 30-year loan term that they're locked into. So being upfront with cost, fees, what the expectation of how long the process is going to take, all of those are really important. So I think communication and transparency are the biggest thing that set me apart.
Excellent. And a little bit, like a few minutes before the show, I had asked you if you could define what a mortgage broker does.
Yes.
And you explained it to me, and which is awesome because I don't think anybody has ever explained it like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. I think that it's a misunderstood concept, right? People say mortgage broker, loan officer.
Right.
No one has any idea. Lender. So as a mortgage broker, I shop different lenders and I find the best deal and loan terms for your individual situation. So instead of you calling 5 different places, I would do that legwork and make sure that you're getting the best deal based off of what you're looking for.
Excellent. And we could pull up your website here to kind of, I love the picture that you have there. Very Miami.
Thank you.
So anybody can just go on here and look for the services or maybe make a call.
If you go to the second tab, it has some loan products, just kind of basic information. But by getting pre-approved button, it gets all your needed information for me to get a better assessment of where you're at and what loan products would be best for you.
Makes sense. So your company offers a wide range of lending solutions, correct? Mm-hmm. So from conventional mortgages to a term, what was the term?
Non-QM.
That. To bank statements. So explain to us about that.
Yeah. So with different loan products or for different individuals. So a conventional loan product is going to be good for a W-2 borrower, someone who has a really traditional job. Like a DSCR loan is for investors. So if you're looking to build your investment portfolio, that's going to be a loan that's going to be specific towards you. And then a bank statement is geared towards self-employed borrowers who maybe write off all your taxes and wouldn't qualify for a traditional mortgage. So all these different terms, you don't really need to know exactly what they mean, but what you need to know is that depending on your situation, there's probably a loan out there that's going to work for you.
Excellent. And you got in this alone. You were telling me. So how many years ago did you decide, I'm going to open my own company?
It was about 1.5 years ago. Wow. So not too long.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're happy?
I am. Yeah, I think it's really rewarding to be able to work with people and get to know them individually. And then when you see them buy their home or refinance, whatever it is, it's exciting because it's a big purchase, but it's also a step in their life that's going to help them to get to where they want to go.
That's fantastic. And you deal with all sizes of families, right? Like an individual person or married couple or doesn't matter. So
I've had loans with 5-6 people on them because they needed to qualify. So
wow. Yeah. They could do that as well.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. So we all know Miami's kind of in a crisis when it comes to real estate. So when it comes to our market in specific, how does AlphaLender kind of like evolve with this crazy market that we're in?
Yeah. It's a really important thing. We are not like the Midwest or the Northeast.
Right.
Miami is its own separate little entity. So I think the most important piece is, as a broker, I'm able to work with different lenders. So I work with lenders who are always evolving with the market. So these terms that you hear, like a 2-1 buy down, that's designed to kind of counteract the higher interest rates and allow you to have a lower monthly payment for the first few years of your loan, or Florida Hometown Heroes. I look for lenders who have products that are going to be specific to what I'm seeing in the market. And then also just having a really good handle on what's happening here in Miami. So I speak with realtors on a weekly basis, ask them what their buyers and sellers are talking about, and reaching out to my past clients and saying, hey, I know you want to buy a new house in a year or 2 years. Is that still on track? How's the market affecting you? So I think both those pieces, putting together your Miami insight, and then also having the lenders who are trying to find programs that are going to evolve with what's happening.
I love that. So you basically really customize the needs for your particular client.
Yes.
And so can you share a success story with me? I know you kind of shared a few, but something that's really like touched you and you still remember it to this day.
Yeah. I have one borrower who was a first-time homebuyer in the U.S. So they had experience in other countries, but came to the U.S., didn't really know what the process was going to look like, and found a home, absolutely loved it, but it was tenant occupied for the first 6 months. And so they wanted to be a primary residence. So we had to go through all the steps of, okay, so your loan is actually going to be an investment for the first few months. And then we will set up a plan for the remaining time whenever you move into the home to get you a lower interest rate to make sure the product is what you want. So I think game planning from the beginning, what your long-term goals are, allows me to make sure you're not only getting a good deal to start, but we wound up refinancing, had a lower interest rate, and they're really happy to be able to move in the right direction.
I love that. And something I didn't put on my notes, but I'm sure you could answer it. For a first-time homebuyer, what are some tips you can give them?
So I think educating yourself is really, really important. You want to do your research on what programs are available to you. Like right now, the Florida Hometown Heroes is available, and there's only so much funding for that program.
Okay.
So you'd want to make sure if I want to use that Florida Hometown Heroes, I want to get some money towards my down payment, you move quickly.
And Hometown Heroes, sorry to interrupt you, is just for first responders? Or
No, so actually it started out being for first responders only in Florida, and then they opened it up to any first-time home buyer that is employed by a Florida-based employer. So it does allow a lot of people who live in the state of Florida to now qualify.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really exciting program.
And you said there's a cap on funding.
Yes, there is. So they do it in rounds. We had a round originally back during the summer. That dried up, and they just released the new round this month, actually.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. I'm sure that's really rewarding when you get somebody qualified for that.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about your company, I want to get into BNI.
Okay.
So, and you got so excited.
I do. I really like it.
Yeah. So, again, it's a Business Network International with an addition of STL Squeeze the Lemon, because the two members in your chapter, they kind of added that little acronym to it.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about BNI and what it does for the community and why should people be involved?
Yeah. So I got involved with BNI because I started my own company, and I found it really difficult to meet people and make connections that were kind of lasting, because you don't have that coworkers where you're going back and forth or a mentor. So I personally joined it because I thought it was a great way to find individuals who are like-minded, wanted to grow their businesses, were sales-oriented. So that was my whole premise for going into it. So the whole idea is that there's only one person per chair. So there's not another mortgage broker there. There's not another insurance agent there. So you're not competing for business. You're really just talking to individuals who want to see you grow and succeed and passing referrals amongst each other.
I love that. That's excellent. And how can someone join?
So it's actually really easy. If you're not in Miami, you can just type in BNI and find a chapter near me. If you are in Miami and you're interested in joining a group, you could type in ours, which is BNI STL. When you go to that website, it says become a visitor or visit the chapter. When you go on there, we'll take it from there. So really easy to find a seat. And if we don't have one in our specific chapter, we'll help you find one in another chapter.
That's excellent. And you host monthly meetings or biweekly?
So they're weekly on Thursdays. 3 times we meet via Zoom and once in person in the Gables.
Wow, nice. Yeah, at the plaza, correct?
Yes, at the plaza.
Excellent. Okay, and that's the website there, and they can go on.
Those are some of our members.
Perfect. And that's Eddie there.
Yep.
He's the owner of Heyday Marketing and Public Relations. So that's perfect. Okay, great. Is there anything else you would like to address to the audience?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess I would say if you don't know anything about the mortgage process, if you have any interest in owning a home in the next few years, reach out to myself, ideally, but any mortgage broker that you can connect with and try and get a good idea of where to start. So it can be intimidating, but it's also a really rewarding process. So just get started early and do your due diligence.
I love that. I love that you said that it could be intimidating.
Yes, for sure. It's a 30-year commitment. It's a huge loan amount right now.
Right.
So you want to make sure you're educated and you know what you're getting yourself into.
Excellent. Okay, well, perfect. Thank you, Alyson, for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Again, I am your host, Anabel, live from Miami's Community News, and today's show is sponsored by Heyday Marketing and Public Relations, an agency based right here in Miami, Florida. You can look at the scroll below. If you have any questions on PR or marketing campaigns, they will definitely help you. Have a great day.